Welcome to the Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii. You're listening to us live on MSP Waves Radio, hosted by the Minnow Support Project, a community of Steemit users who are dedicated to helping newcomers to the Steem blockchain achieve success through community building, networking, and mutual support. I'm DJ Damashii, also known as Rodeo670 on Steemit, and you're tuning in to my first show ever. Before I begin, I have to inform you that MSP Waves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host, myself, or their guests. Statements and show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station. The material on the Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii is provided for educational and informational purposes only. Since it is my first show, I guess I'll start off with why I wanted to do this in the first place. There's this common misconception in society today about ravers or people who go to these electronic dance music festivals and shows. Oftentimes when somebody talks about raving, we get like all these weird looks from people, and it's kind of assumed that we're all nothing but a bunch of degenerate kids who just like to like pop pills and forget about the real world for a while. And I mean, I'm not going to lie and say that doesn't happen, because obviously that misconception had to come from somewhere, so I mean, obviously it does happen, but there, from my experience, the amount of people within the community who go to these events just to do that is so minuscule that it's laughable to me that that's what all of us have become known for. I mean, I'll admit myself, when I first discovered the whole raving lifestyle, the EDM culture, I was mainly using it as an escape from all the troubles of my life in the real world. I was young, and I didn't really know what I was doing, and I didn't really have anybody to kind of show me what it was all about. I didn't really understand this concept of plur or peace, love, unity, and respect, which I'll discuss further later on in the show in a little bit. I was even making candy. We call these like bracelets and cuffs made out of pony beads, candy, and I was trading them with other ravers at the time, but I didn't fully understand what all it like signified and what it truly represented. I mainly did it because I thought it was a cool thing that people did to be cool in the scene, I guess, and I kind of just used it as like a trophy for my personal collection, and it was kind of like my way of saying, yeah, I've been to that event. Look at this cool candy cuff I got from someone, But I mean, as you can probably imagine, if somebody were to only go to these things with the intent to party all the time and forget about the real world life for a while or whatever, they'd probably get sick of it all and eventually get so jaded that it just doesn't become appealing after a while. And that's exactly what happened to me back in those days. I ended up completely distancing myself from the whole scene back in 2013 because I wasn't finding any sort of fulfillment from it anymore, because I was just using it as an escape. And one day I woke up and I realized, like, what am I doing with my life? I just go to all these events and party, and I don't really accomplish anything other than just feeling good for a few hours. So I think this is a nice little place to transition into some music before I actually go into my how I came back into the EDM scene, and how I discovered the real meaning of plur. So this song is called Imaginary, and it's by Brennan Hart. All right. Again, that was Imaginary by Brennan Hart. That that's one of my favorite EDM tracks of all time. It's such an amazing song. I heard it for the first time ever when I stumbled upon Brennan Hart's set at EDC this year, and I immediately fell in love with it. I mean, did you listen to those words? The words in it are just so inspiring and so uplifting, and it's matched with this music that just you just can't help but feel uplifted when you hear it. So it's and that's what that's what this music is all about. Let's take some time to check in with the audience here and see who all is listening. I just want to say thank you to all of you guys for tuning in and supporting my first show ever. It means so much to me. Like I can't even express my full deep gratitude for you all. I see Anka Polo is in there and Bucky Dirtle and Crimson Clad. Cynical Optimist, who will be who has agreed to be my first guest ever. Thank you so much for that. Dante 31, Fausto, Felix, Furious, Gmux is in here. Thank you so much. Hey, it's Jew, Hoshi Trooper, Lena DR, Lexiconical is in here as well. Main Event, Menno, Michael CJ, Audrau, Pensive, Rondon, Sevo, Snecky, Poetic Snake is in here, Spaloo, and even Team Steam. Thank you guys so much for being here and for supporting my first show ever. It means so much to me, and I really appreciate that. So going back into this whole story of mine, um, it wasn't until this year at the Electric Daisy Carnival in Las Vegas that I truly realized, like finally, what the real significance of the EDM culture is, and I finally saw and understood for myself what plur, or again peace, love, unity, and respect, the central tenets of the EDM culture actually embody. One of my favorite things to say now about about all of this about the EDM culture is that we don't go to raves and festivals to forget about the world for a while. We go to get a brief glimpse of what the world could be like if we all just truly loved and cared for one another. So I guess now's the time to drop a little bit of backstory of how I ended up at EDC this year. Even it was my second time going to EDC, but the first time was back in 2011 when I still didn't quite understand everything. But anyway, I had been working 3 jobs for about 8 months when EDC tickets went on sale this year, and I was just feeling really beat down by life, and everything was kind of just a struggle for me. My performance at all 3 of my jobs was starting to really fail and suffer. And so the day that the tickets went on sale, it just so happened to be the same day that I got paid at my full-time job. And by some weird stroke of fate, the exact amount that I got paid was the exact amount that my ticket cost with all the fees and stuff. So I kind of like got this weird random impulse to just buy my ticket like on the spot. And it was a snap decision. I didn't really have any plans. I didn't really know like what I was going to do, how I was going to get there, where I was going to stay. All I knew was that I needed to get there. There was something inside me that was just pushing me to go to this thing, and I knew that I just needed this like kind of break or vacation from life basically. So I bought my ticket, and that was that. I sealed my fate. But I after I bought my ticket though, I just completely forgot about the whole EDC thing. It just slipped my mind, and I went right back into workaholic mode. And when the time finally came for me to actually head out to Las Vegas, I realized I had screwed up because I didn't pay any attention or try to plan anything. And so I hit up all my friends and relatives who were living in Las Vegas, but none of them could put me up, obviously, because super late notice, right? So that was my fault. Total oversight. But I said, screw it. I bought my ticket, and something inside me is just telling me I really have to make it, and I have to go there no matter what happens. So if I have to sleep in my car the entire time I'm there, then so be it. That's going to be my life. It's the price I have to pay for being dumb and not really taking care of these plans. So I drove out to Las Vegas, and I kind of threw caution to the wind and hoped for the best. But when I finally did get into town, I made a post on Facebook, announcing, "Hey everybody, like I'm in Las Vegas for EDC. What's everyone up to? Let's meet up and hang out or whatever." And one of my Facebook friends who I had been friends with for a while, but we had never actually met up before because we lived in different states. She messaged me saying that they were all in town for EDC as well, and so we should all meet up and hang out and finally, finally meet up in person. So I figured, why not? Like we've been friends for a while online, we've been internet friends for a while, and we were never able to meet up. So I saw it as a cool little opportunity to finally get to meet these people. And so I went out to the Luxor, and that's where they were hanging out, and I met up with them, and we all started hanging out. And eventually, we got all these whole like initial getting to know you questions out of the way, and they finally asked me where I was staying for the weekend, and I couldn't help but laugh, and I just told them, I actually have no idea because I was a dumbass and I didn't really plan this trip out very well, and I have nowhere to stay. None of my friends and family members can put me up for the weekend, so I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna end up staying in my car. And that's when their other friend, who was the one who actually reserved the room, he he heard my dilemma, and he told me, he was like, "Hey, you know what? So I was actually supposed to share this room with someone, but she bailed on me at the last minute. So I have this like completely free and open bed now that you are more than welcome to use, and you can, you're free to crash here at in my room for the entire time we're here." And I was completely blown away. Like that was the first act of kindness that forever changed my life. And I don't say that with like, I don't say that lightly. It truly changed my life for that to happen to me, because you just don't expect that kind of kindness from a complete stranger that you just met like half an hour ago. Like it was the Luxor of all places. Like I was living good basically at EDC because this guy just offered for me to stay in his room. And that was the beginning of everything for me, my whole journey to understanding the real meaning behind the EDM culture. So Tori, Brad, Ronnie, and George, thank you guys so much, so much for being such a huge part of my EDM experience this year. For bringing me back into this whole scene and showing me what it truly is all about and what it truly means. That whole EDC weekend and the entire time we were all in Las Vegas together is probably the single most life-changing and perspective-shifting experience that I've had all year. And I'm so grateful that you guys were the ones who set everything in motion. So with that said, I guess now is a good time to play a song before I go into the next portion. Once again, you're listening to The Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii on MSP Waves Radio. And here is Creation by Seven Lions. All right. Again, that was Creation by Seven Lions. So that was another track that I discovered at EDC this year, actually. I had never heard of Seven Lions until my friend Brad, who one of the Facebook friends that I had just met at, in Las Vegas, until he told me about him, and he was very passionate about Seven Lions, and he swore, that I couldn't miss Seven Lions' set. So I made it a point to go see that set no matter what, and I'm so glad I did because it blew me away and just took me to a whole nother place. So I'm just really glad. A lot of my musical tastes this year actually were formed by the friends that I met at EDC. So I'm really, really glad that I met them. Let's hop into the audience chat real quick to see who all is still listening. Thank you guys for still being here. I see Savo is still in there chatting, and Ancapolo and Main Event and Hoshi Trooper. Gmux just had to leave. Thank you so much for listening, Gmux. I really appreciate it. And Whip Girl's in the audience. Thank you so much. Whip Girl's like one of my coolest like DJ friends on in MSP Waves. I always love listening to her show. I always love listening to Main Event show as well. Any show on MSP Waves really is worth listening to, and you learn so much from all these shows, and it's always a good time no matter what show you're listening to. So if you ever find yourself without something to do at night, or check the schedule on MSP Waves, and tune in to a show if there's a show playing, because I guarantee you it's always gonna be a good time. So anyway, at the festival grounds, that's where I found the true spirit of EDM, and that's where I saw for myself, what plur truly means. It's also where I finally got my rave name, which I will forever cherish and use. People who follow me on Steemit know that my little display name is Chaos, and that's what my rave name is. So the act of being named, by the way, at a rave is another subject I plan to go into in another episode. So hopefully, if you guys like my show so far, you'll stay tuned and listen to that in the future when I do talk about that. But everywhere I looked, basically at EDC, people were just being completely helpful and loving towards strangers that they had just met. I mean, I would be dancing my ass off 1 second, and then the next, someone would be fanning me with some fresh air, or misting me with some amazing, like, cool, refreshing water mist. Or some people would even tap me on the shoulder to offer me some water to ensure that I was staying properly hydrated while I was raging the night away. And it just truly completely blew my mind that complete strangers were being so freely giving of what they had just to do their part to ensure that everyone was having the best possible experience ever. Everyone was dressed up however they felt comfortable expressing their innermost selves too, and nobody was judging them for it, or trying to avoid them. In fact, a lot of the most out there personas were some of the most embraced ones, which I found that so fascinating because I wasn't used to that. In society today, people who tend to stick out and purposely stick out, they tend to be avoided and kind of shunned by society. So that was when I learned what plur truly means and what it actually fully embodies. Peace, the first letter of plur, P, stands for peace. And it's this peace that comes from knowing that you are free to be whoever you are and express your innermost true self without fear of being judged by others around you. It is the peace of mind that one obtains when one lets down all of their walls and feels completely free to just be who they are instead of projecting this image of themselves that they think other people think they are like. It's this full acceptance basically of who you truly are in life. It's the letting down of all these facades that we're always putting up for everyone else that we meet, because we think that we have to prove ourselves to them. At a rave, at a festival, you don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You're just free to be yourself completely, and that's where this peace comes from. So with that said, here is another track. It's called We're All We Need by Above and Beyond. All right. Again, that was "We're All We Need" by Above and Beyond. And man, what a beautiful song. You know, it's so true. We really are all we need, and that's it. I feel like that song truly embodies, you know, the peace, because you once you realize that we're all we need, that you are all you need, whoever you are, as you are, you find true inner peace, and that's something that, you know, I've found you will you will find at a rave, at a festival, at these EDM events. So now let's go back. Let's go into the next letter, L, which stands for love. And love refers to this unconditional love that people express for each other at these events. It's this love that we feel whenever we remember that we are all one human family, and that's the only thing that matters. You know, it really is. It's looking in the eyes of someone who has a different skin color, or comes from a different country, someone who believes in a different religion, or no religion, you know, somebody whose political ideology doesn't match up with your own, or someone who identifies with a sexuality that's different from yours, and loving them regardless, because, you know, because you both understand that the important thing is that you're both human beings who still have so much to share with each other, regardless of all your differences on the surface. And with that, this is Perfect Love by Ali and Fila. All right. And again, that was Perfect Love by Ali and Fila. And man, what a beautiful song. It embodies truly the concept of love in plur, because it says, love is here, love's alive, love is not dead. And despite what the outside world wants you to think, what the media that we're fed wants us to believe, love is alive in this world today, and love is here. We're not always at each other's throats. At these EDM events, at these festivals, you discover and you remember that, yeah, we do actually still all love each other, and we all appreciate being part of this same human family. And so I love this song so much. I also want to take this time again to check in with the audience and thank everyone who is listening. I see Let's see. Ankopol is still tuning in. Thank you. Cynical Optimist, you're still here. Dante31, Fausto, Furious, Hey, it's Jew, Hoshi Trooper, Juicy Shark has joined us. Lexiconical, uh, Mean with a 3 for the E. Thank you. Main Event, Menno, Michael CJ, Odra is still here. Rondon, Sevo, Space Ginger has joined us. Spulu is still here. Thank you. Stace. Psycho Chica has joined us. Thank you so much for being here. Team Steam is still tuning in. Thank you. The Philosophizer is here. Yeti Claus for a while. Thank you for joining us. Your System Leon is here. And Agrod is in the chat. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I really, really appreciate it. And also Bradass 44650. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. With that, you're listening again to The Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii on MSP Waves Radio. And so the next letter in plur is U, which stands for unity. And this unity stems from that love that we just talked about, and this understanding that we are all in this together. It is the bonds that we form with the people we meet and connect with, and this promise that we will have each other's backs and look out for each other's well-being. It's this communion that we feel in each other's presence as we are out there on the dance floor raging together like nothing else matters, because nothing else in the world matters when you're out there on the dance floor and you're just enjoying the music in each other's company. None of those like dividers that I talked about in the love, like religion or political affiliation, etc. None of that stuff matters, because you're just there to enjoy the music and to feel each other's presence. And this unity is the outstretched hand that freely offers you a stick of gum or a sip of water or whatever else you might need at that moment. It's the random passerby who stops to ask you if you're okay when the fatigue seems to start setting in after dancing for hours. Um, oh man, sorry, I have to like pause real quick because I'm also watching the Twitch stream, and one of my best friends in the EDM community, who I used to work for. She used to be my boss when I was working for an EDM blog back in 2011. You found Molly 55 has just tuned in. Thank you so much for being here, Molly. I really, really appreciate your support. So with that, let's play Divinity by Porter Robinson. All right. Again, that was Divinity by Porter Robinson. So I just want to say thank you again to everybody who's tuning in to this show, The Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii on MSP Waves Radio. I see that Clayboyne has joined us, as well as Crypto Fixer, uh, and The Crow is here, as well as Whip Girl is still listening. Sandrag is here as well. Thank you guys so much. And I want to give a shout out to my best friend TJ, who just started tuning in. He couldn't find the link, but he's here now. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I really, really appreciate your support. So, with that, let's move on to the next letter of plur, which is R. And R stands for respect. And respect, it goes so much deeper than than the typical definition of the word respect. Respect, it reminds us to be respectful not only of each other, but also of our environment and of the event. It's the heartfelt sorry that that you say when you accidentally bump into someone while you're dancing, or it's the genuine oh, no worries, man, you're fine, that the person you bumped into responds with, because everybody understands that you're just there having a good time, and you didn't like intentionally bump into them or intentionally hit them. um, it's this understanding that regardless of what someone is wearing or not wearing, for that matter, harassment of any sort, regardless of how lighthearted and playful it might seem, it's never okay. It's the act of picking up after yourself and disposing of your garbage in the proper receptacles instead of just tossing things wherever they may fall. It's each and every one of us doing our part to not only have a good time ourselves, but to try and ensure that every single person involved, festival goers, staff, and vendors alike, is having a good time right there with us. That is what respect in plur means to me, anyway. Obviously, I should say that plur means different things to different people, because we're all different people in the end. But for me, this has been my personal understanding of plur as I've learned from going to EDC and Global Dance Festival and all these other festivals and shows that I've been to this past year. So with that, let's play "Count on You" by Ty. All right. And again, that was Count on You by Tidy. So that's Plur, that is Plur to me, and that is the true spirit of the electronic dance music culture and lifestyle. I'm so grateful that I got to go to EDC again this year and to learn all of that for myself through all of the experiences that I had while I was out in Las Vegas that weekend. I I feel like I never would have understood any of this if I hadn't, on impulse bought that ticket to EDC and just had been so determined to get there. So I just wanna say thank you again to everyone who is tuning in to the show tonight and supporting me in my first ever radio show, the Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii. I'm so grateful to all of you. I see Ankapolo is still tuning in, and Crypto Fixer and Cynical Optimist, who is going to be coming on soon, very soon. Dante31, Discordiant has joined us. Fausto is still here. Felix, Hey It's Drew, Hoshi Trooper, Juicy Shark, Lexiconical, Mean, Menno, Audra, Pensif, Rondon, Sevo, Spulu, Stace. Sunravel Me has joined us. Thank you so much. Psycho Chica is still here. Team Steam, The Philosophizer, Yeti Claus for a while. The Crow, Aggroed is in here still listening. Thank you so much. To all of you guys, thank you for tuning in and listening and supporting my show and just helping me to really kind of get my nerves out and carry this show smoothly. I really appreciate you guys. So you're listening to The Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii on MSP Waves Radio. So I guess now people are kind of wondering, why is this show called The Dancing Dreamers? So since I began attending these events again, I've met people who are working on becoming doctors or lawyers, chemists, engineers, singers, writers, dancers, even statesmen. There's people who go to these things who aspire to get into politics because that's their idea of helping the world out, and that's very, very admirable. And you wouldn't, at first thought you wouldn't think that people who aspire to get into the political sphere would go to these things. But yeah, they are. They go. The list goes on and on. I watched these people's eyes light up as they went into specific detail about why they want to get into the field that they're pursuing. I listened to their voice as they got more passionate the more they told me their stories. I saw the beauty in their dreams, and I knew that I had to tell their stories to the world so that people from outside of the electronic dance music scene could see the human face of our beloved EDM culture. I had to talk about the kind of things that go on at festivals so that people could really gain a better understanding of what it's really all like. I really, at this point, I'd like to remind everyone that MSP Waves Radio and its owners take no responsibility for the opinions or statements made by the talk show host, myself, or my guests. Statements and show topics are not necessarily the beliefs of the radio station. The material on The Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii is provided for educational and informational purposes only. And with that, here is Rock the Party by F Word.
I rock the
All right. And again, that was Rock the Party by F Word. So basically, my show is going to be a mix of me talking about my own personal experiences in the electronic dance music community and my observations on the deep spiritual and philosophical concepts that underlie this whole culture, as well as playing some awesome EDM tracks for all of you to enjoy. Both mainstream tracks like the ones that you've heard so far all night, and original tracks from our fellow Steamians. I'll also be interviewing people who go to EDM festivals to find out about their experiences at these events, as well as their dreams and goals in life, because the show is called The Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii. And I'll also be interviewing EDM artists who are on the blockchain and interviewing people who are organizing EDM related events and adventures out in their respective communities. And as you can see from the selection of music that I've played over the course of this show so far, you won't just be limited to one subgenre of EDM. You'll get pretty much a full spectrum from one end to the other and everything in between. Me personally, I love just about all EDM myself, and I more or less believe that all of it has a place in the community, despite what certain elitists in the community like to talk down on. There's a lot of that goes on sometimes, but I love it all. If it gets you to move, then it's good. It's good music. So with that, I think my guest is ready to come on. Cynical Optimist, if you are listening, let's get you live on the air. And so you have to click into the live on air channel. But in the meantime, while we wait for him to join us, let's talk about why I think everybody should go to an EDM festival at least once in their life. It's a place that just it breaks down all like societal norms and societal barriers that keep us in this mindset of being separate from one another. And I truly personally believe that everyone should go to one, at least one in their entire life, just to just to get a feel for it and get this glimpse of what the world could truly be like if we all just put aside this notion that we're all separate from each other, and we all actually came together and took care of one another and loved one another. And now, let's pop into the chat and see who all is still here. I see that Mirai Mage joined us for a little bit. Thank you so much for tuning in. And everybody else, Ancapolo is still in here. Thank you so much. Crypto Fixer, Cynical Optimist, Dante31, Fausto, Felix, H. Jew, Hoshi Trooper, Juicy Shark, Lexiconical, Mean, Menno, Audra, Pensive, Rondon, Sevo, Spulu, Stace, Unravel Me, Psycho Chica, Team Steam, The Philosophizer, Yeti Claus for a while, and The Crow, as well as, everybody who's tuning in on Twitch, the few people who I can see who have entered into the chat and have typed something. Bradass44650, and You Found Molly still in there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So we're having some technical difficulties with getting Cynical Optimist on the air right now. Hopefully the ops team in MSP Waves can help me out with that and help drag him into the live on air channel soon. In the meantime, this is this is live radio, so I kind of just have to keep on going for a little while and hope that this situation gets sorted out. But it's this whole scene, this whole lifestyle has completely changed my life. I've been meeting so many amazing people through this. I mean, I didn't. So I met Cynical Optimist Jake. I know him as Jake, but he goes by Cynical Optimist on Steam it and in the Discord channel. I met him actually after coming back from EDC. We didn't even meet at a festival, but he just we've just been in touch because we sat down and talked and found out more about each other and realized that we have a lot of the same goals and dreams in life. So I'm really looking forward to bringing him on the air soon if we can figure this out, so that you guys can all get to meet him and check his blog out and learn more about him. I'm dropping the link right now to his blog into the MSP Waves audience chat for you guys all to see and check it out. He is an amazing writer, a very underrated writer, I should say, because he posts some amazing stuff on his Steemit blog that, it hardly gets seen by people. So check it out and give him a follow if you like what you see. And in the meantime, let's check out A Christmas Miracle has joined us. Thank you for tuning in. This is actually a Christmas miracle for me. I can't believe I'm actually on the radio right now and talking on the air, and I have my own radio show on this MSP Waves radio station. It blows my mind. I never thought that this was possible. I had a dream when I was younger that I would someday. I was trying to get on the radio when I was younger, but then I completely forgot that was something I wanted to do, because I looked into it back then and everything just seemed so complicated, and I was like, yeah, it's not gonna happen, And then I found Steemit and I found MSP and man, the Minnow Support Project, let me tell you, has completely changed my life. I would not be where I am today in terms of where I am on Steemit and the following that I have on the blockchain if I had never found MSP Waves, if GMux had never shown me to MSP. I originally joined a community called the Writers Block, and shortly after chatting around in there for a while, GMux was like, hey, you actually might be more interested in joining the Minnow Support Project. It's a lot more generalized community for new people. And so I was like, oh yeah, okay, let me check it out and see, I'll give it a shot. And I checked it out, and man, I felt like I was home. I found a home on the blockchain, and I know that so many other people feel the same way about the Minnow Support Project. So if you're listening and you're brand new to Steemit and brand new to the Steem blockchain, I strongly suggest that you check out the Minnow Support Project on the Peace, Abundance, and Liberty server on Discord, because if you're looking to really be successful on the blockchain, this community is where it's at. This community is where you'll find that, because everybody in here is so supportive, and you can't go wrong with joining this community. Basically, I've made so many amazing friends since joining this thing, and people who genuinely truly support my work. I've had such a huge struggle with my creativity and my creative flow and the works that I put out, because I'm sure so many people who are listening can relate to this, who have been in MSP for a while. The stuff that I used to put out before I found Steem and before I found MSP, it wouldn't really get seen by too many people, and it wouldn't really receive much of a response. And since I came to the Steem blockchain, and since I came to MSP, all of that has changed, and people are finally reading my stuff, and people are giving me feedback on it, and I love it. It's been a life changer for me, basically. And so we're still trying to get my friend Cynical Optimist on the show. Hopefully somebody can help out with that soon. Yeah, it's live radio. I should have planned this portion of it out a little better. We need to drag him into the live on air channel. So I'm just kind of chatting and trying to figure out how we do this. This is my first radio show ever, so growing pains, right? Growing pains. I'll learn from this experience in my next episode and be better prepared to try to get people on the air. Yeah, in the meantime, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, you're listening to The Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii on MSP Waves Radio, on Steemit, on the Steam blockchain. My username is Rodeo670, and this is a show that's all about the electronic dance music culture. Let's see. Ronan is telling me I have to join on the air with him. So let's see. I am going to join him on the air shortly, very, very soon. I didn't realize that that's what I had to do. I am learning. I am learning, and this will flow much, much smoother next show. I promise you guys. Thank you for joining me and for being here through these growing pains with my first episode ever. This is very very educational for me. So I'm about to join right now, and hopefully, here we go. Let's see, cynical optimist. Can you hear me, Jake? I appear to be muted. All right. Can you hear me, Jake? Cynical optimist, are you here? Hello. I hear him typing, but I don't. I think he's muted now. Let's see. Let's try to figure this out so we can finally get him on the air. Uh, I think I hear him.
Yeah, I'm still here. I just can't hear anybody, so I'm talking to the void.
Gotcha. Can you hear me now? Are you good? Hey Jake, I can hear you. Oh, Agrod has joined our live on air. All right. So Jake, let's if you can hear. Oh, he's not on. Oh man, this whole experience is pretty fun. Live radio. Uh, so I'm just trying to figure all this out. But thank you guys for being here and for being patient with me and figuring all of this stuff out with
I can't
me.
hear anything on my.
I can hear him on my end. Are you guys? Can you guys hear him right now? Because I can hear him from me, but I can't. I don't know if you guys can hear him. All right, I'm going to play a song. This is "Ordinary Life" by The Prophet. All right. And again, that was Ordinary Life by The Prophet. So hopefully we've gotten our issues sorted out. Jake, can you hear
I
me?
should be able to hear this, but I can't.
He's saying that he still can't
Yeah,
hear
they
me.
can hear me.
Yeah,
They can hear you. I can see it on the little thing right there.
I can hear him, but I don't know why he's unable to hear me right now. That's pretty interesting. Oh man. Live radio, right guys? You are listening to The Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii on MSP Waves Radio. And I am currently trying to get my friend Cynical Optimist on the air with me, but he's saying that he can't hear me speaking right
So now I
now.
can be heard, but I can't hear anybody or anything.
Yeah, he's saying that everyone can hear. He can't hear me, but everybody can hear him. So I don't know what's going on. It's it's an interesting experience for sure. I just want to say thank you again to everyone who is tuning in. We've just been joined by Sir Lunch the host. Thank you so much for tuning in. For everyone who's still listening, A Christmas Miracle, Ancapolo, Crypto Fixer, Dante 31, Fausto, Felix, Hey It's Jew, Hoshi Trooper, Juicy Shark, Lexiconical, Mean, Menno, Audrow, Pensive, Rondon, Sevo, Spaloo, Stace, Unravel Me, Psycho Chica, Team Steam, The Philosophizer, and The Crow. You guys are all awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here and supporting me on this first show ever, and for sitting through with me on all of these technical difficulties with trying to get my guest on the air. Uh, so he's a really kind of a big deal out here in Salt Lake. A lot of people here in the EDM community know him, and he's well known for being a community organizer, and he throws events out here in Salt Lake, and he's very involved in the local electronic dance music and arts community. He recently started this thing called the Omnius Team. That it's exactly what it sounds like. It encompasses such a huge like plethora of different things that fall under this umbrella of EDM and the arts here. And so I've been trying to get him on the air because it's gonna be really inspiring, I feel like, for everybody to hear him talk about all these projects that he's been doing, and he has some serious like heavy big dreams for the future of this world that I really want everybody to hear and to get to know who he is, so that you can check out his Steemit profile and support him. But he's saying that he still can't hear anything I'm saying, unfortunately. But yeah, it's I don't understand why this is happening, but it's
Hello?
hello. Can you hear me? I can hear you. But he still can't hear me, unfortunately. But it's been an interesting experience. Some growing pains. Thank you guys for being here and for listening to all of this take place. I appreciate this, guys. Thank you. At this point, I want to say, thank you so much to everybody in the MSP Waves ops team, and for everybody who's helped me along this process of getting my show on the air and getting this proposal through, and just making this a reality. When I joined Steam, I never thought I would end up being on a radio show, let alone hosting my own, but Main Event, during my second week on Steam, he invited me to come onto his show, which he hosts with Poetic Snake, and I figured, I guess, let me try it out. And it was kind of really nerve-wracking, but they really, Main Event and Poetic Snake kind of helped me to just feel comfortable talking on the air with them. And it, from there, that was the very first time I had been on the radio in my adult life, and I just, after that, I started to get a little more and more comfortable, and I started coming on to other people's shows. I've been on Agrode's Minnow Mayor Town Hall a few times. That the first time I went on, it was pretty nerve wracking because it's aggroed, right? Like he's the guy that started all of this, minnow support project, Peace, Abundance, Liberty Discord, and so it was an intimidating experience, but he was really cool, and I felt really comfortable after that, and then I started going on other people's shows as well, and guesting on theirs. I even went on to Izaria and Sunravel Me's show, The Dark Side, a few times. And, all these people were telling me, hey, you should really consider getting on the air and starting up your own show too. And at first I was just like, oh yeah, that would be kind of cool, I guess. It's not really it's not really something that I seriously considered at first. I was just like, yeah, I guess that would be kind of cool. But the more people started to tell me, hey, you really should consider putting on your own show sometime. And then one week Aggroed officially invited me to really like sit down and put forth a proposal. And at that point I was like, well, he invited me on the air, and there's like, I can't really say no now. So I sat down and started to think about what I could do to really put forth a show. And the idea came to me because when I joined Steam, one of my main purposes, I even stated in my introduce yourself post, was that I wanted to mainly talk about the electronic dance music culture, and I wanted to showcase what EDM is all about. And when I started writing some of those blog posts at first under the Dancing Dreamers, they didn't really get seen as much as I had hoped, and so I kind of lost sight of that initial goal, and I started to branch out and started to write about other things. And so when all these people were telling me that I should make a radio show, that's when I kind of flashed back to the whole idea of the Dancing Dreamers and my initial intent coming onto Steam. And I realized, this would be a perfect opportunity for me to actually truly launch this blog, The Dancing Dreamers, on the Steam blockchain, and get it to be a part of this whole experience by adding a radio show aspect to it. And so I decided that it was time for me to take this offer seriously and take this blog seriously, The Dancing Dreamers, and turn it into a radio show and blog. And this is what happened. I'm on the air now, and this is Sunravel Me saying it's pronounced Agroot. It's like this little kind of inside joke that people have in MSP, I guess. But and so here I am now on the air on my very first episode of The Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii, and this is what you're getting right now. I can't get my guest on the air, so hopefully you guys aren't getting tired of me talking right now. I am trying very hard to keep you guys all entertained and kind of fill you in on what it is that I'm trying to do. This has just been a really interesting experience and a learning experience for me. Next week, I promise I will get this whole technical issue stuff figured out and taken care of, so that my guest will actually be able to come on the show. And I see that Peachy Mod, Julia K. Ponsford, has joined us in the audience chat. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all of you guys being here with me and just being along for the ride. Thank you guys. I'm here with you guys on MSP Waves Radio. This is The Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii, and you're listening to me, DJ Damashii, also known as Brodeo670 on Steam. So yeah, thank you guys. You guys are awesome for being here with me, and I see that Splendor Hub has also joined the audience and is tuning in. Thank you. I see, oh man, so Schuster Music has joined as well on the Twitch stream, and he's actually a pretty amazing artist himself who puts out some pretty great music. and hopefully, if I can get things to work out, I'll be able to play some of his music on the air for you guys. I don't think he's on Steam yet, but hopefully I can get him on Steam eventually, and he can share his music through posts on Steam. I would love to be able to play some of his music right now, actually. I'm going to. He's listening right now, so Schuster, if you are giving me the okay to play one of your tracks right now, let me know. Type it in the Twitch chat, and I will play one of your tracks for everyone to hear. Yeah, just give me the okay, and I will play like one of my favorite tracks that you put out. But yeah, you guys are all awesome for listening and tuning in and supporting me. I really appreciate it. I just got the go ahead from Schuster to play his music, so you guys are about to be treated to some local talents right here. This is The Lamb and the Wolf by Schuster, which is spelled SHSTR.
Heard of this big camp that's supposed to be around?
Of course. Some say it's a puma, others a giant ape, and still others say it's a famous jungle demon that tears living animals to shreds with its claws and then feeds upon them. Has been known to attack humans also. Hasn't so far, I hope. No. But I'm sure it will.
So again, okay, now the music won't stop playing. Oh man, this is interesting. Technical difficulties, fellas. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of this and and sitting through all these technical difficulties with me. There we go. I finally got the music to stop. So that track that you just heard again is called "The Lamb and the Wolf," and it's by Schuster, which is spelled Shstr. He is a local artist here in the Salt Lake area, and he is actually asking for the Discord link right now. I think he's about to join the audience chat. So, Schuster, everybody in the audience chat is saying that they loved it, by the way. So, thank you for letting me share that with everyone. I really appreciate it. Yeah, you guys should be seeing him in the audience chat soon, I think, if he can get this link to work. In the meantime, I want to just say thank you again to everybody for tuning in and for listening. This isn't going as smoothly as I thought it would go, but I hope it's still going pretty smoothly for you guys out there who are listening. Yeah, there's a lot that I have to learn still, obviously. This is my first radio show. You're listening to The Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii on MSP Waves Radio. And now I'm about to play, if this will load up, I'm going to play another track from an artist. He is on the Steam blockchain, actually. He is known as Seveau, Seveaux. And this is, his track is called Hammock. And so it's just loading right now. But he actually, Seveau is a very active member in the music community here on Steemit. He actually runs a music server on Steam, or on Discord rather, called the Steemit Music Alliance, and that's where I send all my friends who are musicians into whenever I bring them onto Steam, because it's such an amazing community of musicians that all support each other and share music with each other. And here is Hammock by Seveau. Is it lagging? That's anyway, it'll start playing eventually, but until then, I don't. And again, that was Hammock by Sevo, who is on Steam. He is pretty well known among musicians on Steam because he runs his own music server called the Steam It Music Alliance. So if you are a musician and you're on Steam, I encourage you to go check out that server, and check out his profile too. I just dropped a link in the chat not too long ago. So check it out, support him and support his music if you enjoyed what you just heard. This is turning into me featuring musicians mostly because I couldn't figure out how to get my guest for tonight's Cynical Optimist on the air. So we will take a rain check on that, and he will be appearing next week on next week's show. We're just gonna have to work through some of these technical difficulties. In the meantime, somebody else just dropped a track for me to play. His username in this Discord is mean with a 3 instead of an E. So I'm gonna play that and see how it sounds. The title of this track is Sweet Symphony.
There's only one alibi. In our dreams we don't need to hide. Just close your eyes and sing with me. Oh, a sweet symphony. There is only one alibi. In our dreams we don't need to hide. Just close your eyes and sing with me. Oh, a sweet symphony. Hundreds of people step into my heart, 'cause I really need you, but we both know it is a forbidden love. Every time I see you, feels like hundreds of people step into my heart, 'cause I really need you, but we both know it is a forbidden love.
All right. Again, that was Sweet Symphony from Mean, who is on Steam. He's on the Steam blockchain, and he actually posted that on one of the interfaces we have that in one of the websites that interface with the Steam blockchain called DSound, which is kind of like our blockchain's version of SoundCloud. And the main difference is that the tracks you post on DSound instantly generate Steam for you. So there's no like, I don't know how the other stuff works, but if you post a track through DSound and people like it and upvote it, it'll generate Steam for you. So if you're a musician and you're on Steam, I highly encourage you guys to check DSound out and start using that as your platform to share your music on. And I just want to remind you guys that you're listening to The Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii on MSP Waves Radio. This is my first radio show episode ever, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Ankapolo, thank you for still being here. I see that Wandering Rose 7 has joined us as well. Thank you so much. Crypto Fixer is still here, as well as Cynical Optimist, Dante 31, Fausto. Hey, it's Joe. I've been saying hey, it's Jew, but she corrected me by adding something under her name that says pronounced Joe, not Jew. So hey, it's Joe is still here. Hoshi Trooper is here. Thank you so much. Juicy Shark, Lexiconical, Mean, whose track you just heard. Menno is still here. Audrell, Pensive, Rondon, Sevo, Sir Lunch the Host, Splendor Hub, Spulu, Stace, Unravel Me, Psycho Chica, Team Steam, Philosophizer, The Crow, and Toriko has also joined us. Thank you so much for tuning in and listening and supporting my show, Toriko, who also goes by Pirate Ghost Puppy in Discord. You guys are all awesome. I love you all. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting my show. Seriously, it means a lot. The show didn't quite run as smoothly as I would have wanted it to, but you know, it's all part of this learning experience, right? Of being here on the radio waves for the first time ever with my own show. I see Whip Girl is still tuning in. She just posted in the audience chat. Thank you so much for still being here and for supporting my show, Whip Girl. I truly appreciate it. And Stace is here. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. So Sir Lunch the host actually just sent me one of his tracks. So I'm about to play that. We have about like 8 minutes left in the show, so this will probably be like the last track that I feature tonight. But it's been a good show, you know, despite all the issues I had. I really appreciate, you know, you guys being patient with me and just tuning in and being on this crazy ride with me. So thank you. This is track 2 off of the MSP Waves beat tape, Minnow's Love, produced and remixed by Sir Lunch the host. The song title is I'm Sorry. So I just hit the play button on that. Hopefully it'll play soon. And here you go. This is once again by Sir Lunch the host. And All right, and again, that was track 2 off of the MSP Waves beat tape, Minnow's Love, produced and remixed by Sir Lunch the Host. And the track title was called I'm Sorry. Oh man, what a show. What a show it's been, huh? Like, I had like this whole thing planned out and things happened and sometimes, you know, those plans don't always work out. Isn't that the story of life though? You know, we plan stuff and everything just kind of happens in a different way than we had hoped and planned. But I'm so grateful to you guys for being here. Thank you so much for supporting me and just really encouraging me to do this. I don't think I ever would have really seriously considered doing something like this if it weren't for all of you guys supporting me and really, you know, encouraging me and giving me this idea that I could actually pull something like this off. So hopefully, hopefully my next show will run a bit smoother and my plans won't get derailed. But yeah, you know, this show I hope will be a good way to showcase, you know, local musicians and by local I mean, you know, on the Steam blockchain. But yeah, you guys are all awesome for tuning in and for supporting me. I can't say that enough. You know, I wouldn't be here tonight if it weren't for you guys and the love and support that you guys have been showing. And I'm so glad. I see that Dexter's Lab has just joined us as well in the chat. Thank you for being here. Yeah, you guys are the best. There's about like 2.5 minutes left, or 2 minutes rather, left in this show. So, you know, this is I guess this is the end of my first show ever. So I know I've thanked everybody so much already, but I hope it comes off that, you know, I really can't thank you guys enough so much. I have so much gratitude in my heart right now for all of you guys who have tuned in and who have joined in and chimed in the audience chat and have just really given me, you know, some amazing feedback and stuff that I can work on for next week's show. You guys are all awesome, and I just want to say thank you for everyone who tuned in and gave it a shot, gave me a fair chance. Hopefully I'll be able to fill out these shows with a good balance of all the things that I described earlier, you know, talking to artists and talking to people who go to festivals and finding out what their dreams and goals and aspirations are in life, and bringing community organizers in and talking about what they're doing. Be on the lookout definitely for Cynical Optimist to be on my show next week. We will work things out and get everything working out properly. Yeah, so I just wanted to say thank you as well to Global Cop and all the station managers here at MSP Waves Radio for helping me through this process and for encouraging me to put forth this proposal for my show and just for helping me to get everything running as smoothly as possible. Rondon, you are awesome. With my test broadcast, I never would have even known that everything was going wrong until you showed up and really helped me figure all that stuff out. So this show tonight, however smoothly you can consider it running with all the issues I had, it's thanks to you. So I really, really do appreciate it. Rondon, by the way, has his own radio show on Monday nights called Free Speech Radio, and you guys should tune in because it's always a very, very good time in there. The last show in particular was pretty hilarious. But yeah, so thank you guys. Thank you so much to my MSP Waves family. I'm so happy to finally be a part of this, and you guys are great. My show is about to end now, so thank you guys so much. I love you guys. See you next week for the next edition of the Dancing Dreamers with DJ Damashii on MSP Waves Radio.